What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Will freaks out when Luna spills something in her bedroom on Sheila. Will Spencer, as shown in the Bold and the Beautiful, was in a panic when he realized his mistake in the bedroom. Sheila Sharp was also informed by Luna Nozawa. Will called Electra's name when he awoke from his hangover and realized she wasn't there. Will struggled to recall the events of the previous night as he recalled fragments of it. Deacon Sharp brought Will some aspirin and admitted to texting Katie Logan so she wouldn't worry. Will didn't remember drinking that much, but since things got wild, he appreciated all of Deacon's help. Will smiled because it was an unforgettable night and still believed Electra was the one he slept with, even though some of what happened was unclear to him. Since Will had been drinking the night before, Electra and Ivy Forrester assumed at Forrester Creations that he was having a rough morning. Electra, on the other hand, was optimistic that Will would return later that evening for their first date. She questioned Luna about where she went missing last night while she was at Lee Finnegan's house. Sheila showed up and participated in the questioning, but Luna claimed she went for a walk and minimized the dangers. Lee was alarmed by the news because Luna kept teasing about a plan, which led to additional warnings about her granddaughter possibly returning to prison. Lee eventually got fed up and left Sheila to talk some sense into Luna. Once Sheila was alone with Luna, she urged her to tell the truth now that it was just the two of them. Luna eventually admitted to serving drinks to Will at his party, but she assured Sheila that he didn't recognize her. Since Luna kept smiling and playing up how it was the best night ever, Sheila wanted to know more. Sheila joined Luna in a fit of laughter when she admitted that she had given Will something that Electra would never have given him. Once Will dragged himself to work, he met up with Electra and talked about last night being amazing. Will recalled how Electra returned from her absence and suggested that it was a significant night for the two of them. Will's confusion made Electra giggle, and she figured that because he was so buzzed that he thought she had returned. Will flashed back to their passionate encounter and appeared visibly shaken when he realized that Electra had not found him in Deacon's spare room. According to the Bold and the Beautiful, Will want to know who was actually in his bed, so keep an eye out for updates on the shocking developments. Sheila is shocked by Luna's morning sickness and is prepared to reveal the truth first. Sheila may be the first person in Los Angeles to discover the shocking truth about Luna's troubling symptoms. The Bold and the Beautiful hint at the possibility of morning sickness. Will Sheila Sharp be the first to sense a baby surprise? Clues point to a pregnancy storyline, but there is no guarantee. Although there is no guarantee that B&B will investigate a pregnancy plot, all indications seem to point in the opposite direction. With Luna having jumped into bed with Will Spencer, it's quite possible she might be carrying his child. Luna has been giving away hints about a plan that could involve kidnapping Will with a child. She believes that this could open the door to a long-term relationship with the Spencer family and a lifetime of security as Will's mother. Regardless of the outcome, it seems likely that Luna will find herself expecting Will's child. Morning sickness and other signs of pregnancy should show up soon. Some pregnancy symptoms, like morning sickness, which would be the most obvious, might show up quickly. Sheila Sharp may be the first to discover Luna's elaborate plan. If Luna is exhibiting other typical pregnancy symptoms, such as nausea, Sheila's mind may begin to race. One can easily picture Sheila directly inquiring if Luna is expecting at some stage. She's not one to remain unconfrontational. Sheila might recall Will's night of heavy drinking in Deacon Sharp's guest room and connect it to Luna's disappearance around the same time. Luna may be happy to confirm Sheila's suspicions, add that it's part of her plan. Luna could happily confirm Sheila's concerns and assert that it's all part of a plan to ensure Sheila has a bright future. It's possible that Luna thinks she can persuade Will to start a family with her by bringing his child into existence. In any case, Sheila could be overwhelmed by the thought of Luna having Will's baby and be anxious about the chaos her granddaughter is about to cause. Sheila might become a great-grandmother as a result of this development, but she will probably be worried about the chaos Luna is causing, even though the scheming side of her might be impressed. Sheila may also become apprehensive about Lee Finnegan's response and come to the realization that Luna has crafted a disaster that is only going to escalate. Luna certainly seems to be a chip off the old block. Luna certainly appears to be an old pro when it comes to being Sheila's mini-me. Sheila has been pregnant multiple times and has even babysat with a fictitious child in the past. Sheila would be the one who could spot Luna's pregnancy plot. Luna seems to be using a lot of the strategies she has developed over the years. Sheila has done it before, so Luna wouldn't even need to tell Sheila about her baby plot to get Will Spencer to marry her. Will Spencer's world was already in turmoil from the previous night when he abruptly awoke in Deacon Sharp's guest room, his temples pounding and his voice raspy from calling out Electra's name amidst the haze of his hangover. However, what truly initiated the descent into his nightmare was the series of confessions, cover-ups, and ominous laughter that ensued, starting with Luna Nozawa divulging secrets in the seclusion of her bedroom to Sheila Sharp, who had arrived at Lee Finnegan's residence already suspicious and eager for answers. Will, clutching the aspirin Deacon had given him while murmuring that he had already texted Katie Logan to alleviate her concerns, struggled to piece together the fragmented memories, the blurred images of being led upstairs by Deacon, the laughter and flashing lights of the party, the warmth beside him that he was certain belonged to Electra. Yet, the more he attempted to reconstruct the events, the more disconcerting it became. While Will managed a faint smile and reassured himself that it had been a night to remember, he could not dispel the emptiness where Electra should have been. Meanwhile, across town at Forrester Creations, Electra and Ivy Forrester were interpreting his absence that morning as merely a result of excessive champagne, with Electra cheerfully convincing herself that tonight would signify their genuine first time together, oblivious to the fact that Will already believed their intimacy had occurred. The trajectory was being established because back at Lee's, Luna leaned against her bedroom wall with a cat who ate the canary grin while he raised her voice in exasperation, lamenting that Luna's evasions and walks would inevitably land her back in prison if she continued to tempt fate. However, Luna dismissed it all with casual arrogance, asserting her control and disregarding Lee's warnings as mere nagging, which provoked Sheila to intervene and support Lee's concerns, encouraging Luna to abandon her smug demeanor and be truthful for once. When Lee finally reached her limit and stormed out, it left Luna and Sheila alone the moment Luna had anticipated to boast about her wrongdoings. When Sheila pressed her for details, Luna confessed with a twisted sense of pride that she had encountered someone very special the previous night, prompting Sheila to first speculate about Finn and then Will Spencer. Luna erupted into laughter and confirmed it, recounting how she had poured drink after drink for Will, how he had failed to recognize her, and how she had provided him with an experience that Electra Forrester, known as Miss Prissy, would never be able to replicate. This made Sheila laugh as well, though there was an underlying sense of alarm, for despite Sheila's own experience in schemes, she was taken aback by her granddaughter's audacity in gloating about an act that could disrupt not only Will's life but also the lives of the Spencers, Forresters, and Logans as a whole. Nevertheless, Luna's excitement was uncontainable. She proclaimed it the best night of her life, tossing her hair with smug triumph. Meanwhile, Sheila muttered under her breath that Luna was a chip off the old block, practically her mirror image from decades ago. Although she laughed along with her, the older woman felt a sense of unease, especially when Luna began to drop hints about morning sickness and nausea, brushing it off with a grin while slyly suggesting that it might be part of a larger scheme, the notion of ensnaring Will Spencer with a baby dangling like a shiny prize in her mind. Meanwhile, Will was dragging himself to Forrester later that day, his smile forced yet determined to play along when he saw Electra and enveloped her in a hug, stating that the previous night had been incredible, marking a significant milestone for them. He was unable to comprehend how flawless it seemed only for Electra to chuckle and gently correct him, indicating that she had not returned to Deacon's, implying that he must have been significantly more intoxicated than he realized. Her tone was playful, yet her words struck Will like daggers to the heart, as in that moment, his expression revealed the horror that surged within him, his blood turning cold, and his pale complexion betraying the truth that something unspeakable had occurred with another person. His mind raced back to the hazy, fragmented memories of the previous night, becoming increasingly vivid, and with that realization, the nightmare he had been suppressing overwhelmed him. He had not been with Electra at all, which indicated that someone he could not recall had shared his bed. The dawning fear that it might have been Luna would linger in his thoughts in the days ahead. The writers of The Bold and the Beautiful depicted this through Crew Morrow's performance, showcasing the widening of his eyes, the almost scream caught in his throat, and the grimace of a man caught between disbelief and terror. Meanwhile, as Ivy spoke cheerfully about the promising future ahead and Electra radiated joy about the next steps in their relationship, Will's mind spiraled out of control, struggling to reconcile what Deacon had mentioned about a party he would never forget with the nauseating possibility that he had been violated while too intoxicated to give consent, and across town. Luna was still basking in her victory with Sheila, asserting that what she provided to Will was precisely what he desired. That he would ultimately come to understand she was the superior option, and that soon he would have no alternative but to recognize her significance in his life if her strategy unfolded as she envisioned. Sheila, while entertained, could not overlook the indicators Luna's queasiness, her casual remarks about securing her future, her haughty disregard for repercussions, and it struck her that if Luna was indeed expecting, then turmoil was on the verge of erupting throughout Los Angeles, with the Spencer, Logan, and Forrester families all caught in the maelstrom. Sheila contemplated her choices meticulously, caught between her allegiance to her granddaughter and the palpable anxiety that Luna was descending into a catastrophe that could overshadow even Sheila's own infamous scandals, and yet there lingered that perverse sense of pride, that resonance of recognition in witnessing her own reflection in Luna's schemes, even if it led to the ruin of everyone surrounding them.